Hello everybody and welcome back to the ETF2L Nations Cup. We're here in round 3 of the 10th iteration. I am Rook and I'm joined by not Stephen as we're getting ready for a matchup between Hungary and Germany.
Yep, it should be a good one tonight. Germany going to be one of those favourites looking up there. Obviously, they are well known for having a pretty dominant German roster in the main season of E2F2L. Now, kind of replacing those couple of English people that have managed to make their way in from the past season to fill out a full German roster coming up here. And going against them will be the Hungarians, looking pretty good so far in this season and definitely have some notable names here. I mean, the most notable of those would definitely be Nubby for as one of the best roamers in Europe, at least at a time. A little less active nowadays, but he's definitely going to be the star of this team to watch. A couple more players from that team to watch as well are going to be Darga, a little inactive for a while, but a well-known Premiership demo man, and yeah, can be super explosive. So we'll see how he does. And then rounding up this roster tonight, it looks like it is going to be Chiga and Osero on Scouts, Biz Baz on Soldier, and it should be Trum coming in any second now to finish it up on a medic here. So it's a strong looking roster here. Rook and the Germans, obviously, they got their work quite cut out, I would say.
Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, it's kind of to be expected coming on into this. We do tend to have some of these matches being a little bit more, just one-sided in terms of when you've got such quality players all stuck in one nation, especially Germany, obviously just having a lot of players and so many that have just been keeping at it for such a long time. It is certainly something to have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about legacy, you have to talk about Shockey on this team.
Yeah.
I think Shockey has been playing some of the longest. I was actually making some stats today, looking at most games played, and I think Shockey is 4th on most games ever played. So this man has been playing for a stupidly long time. He played a stupid amount of Prem seasons, so has so much experience and is showing throughout the regular season just how good he still is. Is putting up a big numbers, and then he's gonna have a Voxy next to him as well. I think these two started playing together a couple of seasons ago, but Voxy winning back, I think about 2-3 years ago, season 36. So he's also a Premiership winner on that Scout class. So this duo of absolute monsters on the Scout are going to have Gazzy and Danny filling them up with those soldier classes. However, we do see there's a bit weird to see maybe Gazzy coming in here on the soldiers. Normally Gazzy a Scout player, but he's decided to come up on the soldier. Obviously knows the game well enough to show off his skills, make some good gameplay, and yeah. And then with it, Danny as well. Roma has been out for a little bit, was semi-retired, but you've got to come back for the Nations Cup. I feel like we see this all the time where a Prem player would have retired for the end, like, oh, Nations Cup, my time to shine once again.
Yeah, no, it's always fun to see these players come on back when they've got such a legacy, when they're, just chilling out a little bit and still seeing them kind of, show the young kids how it's done, frankly. Very fun to see. Again, reminder, guys, that, I mean, if you haven't been paying attention, I assume most people who are here to watch from TF2 probably are aware, there was the update today, which means we are having still some issues getting one of the players in. If you see any visual glitches, not our fault. We've tried our best to resolve those as quickly as we can. So apologies if they do happen. TF2, sometimes it's just a little broken.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're saying in chat that the last player we're waiting on, Trum, is updating the game on the Hungarian internet. So
no.
We'll see how long that takes. But you were talking about some players that we haven't seen for a while. I only just realized it's Menti on on Medic. I can't remember the last time I saw Menti play. Must have been 2016, 2017. So maybe he comes back for the Nations Cup and I'm just misremembering things a little bit. But yeah, super good to see Menti coming back. And then it is going to be Philip rounding out that roster. So he's also been the demo that's been playing for the Germans in the regular season. So going to have some good synergy coming out from these players. I'm a bit worried we're going to be changing servers here. They're all talking about how there's only 1 hour left in the server, but there's 2 maps to play here. So what are they going to do?
Well, it's 61 left. They can't extend the serve me just yet. They're just waiting for a chance to do it. I haven't seen anywhere. Do we have the maps yet for today? Have you seen them somewhere? Am I blind? Okay, so I've just gotten word from our lovely producer that they are process, bagel, and product, which is nice to see. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to get to see any Koth in Nations Cup. I feel like it just keeps disappearing for me every time I'm like ready to cast it. Just doesn't seem to be there. But yeah, double Koth potentially if we make it to that final game, but at least one Koth. And I do love a quick cheeky bagel, to be fair.
I love a bagel. I mean, it should only be 2 maps if I'm correct. This is just group stages still, so we only have 2. But yes, process will be our first map here. So we are just starting off here on the red team. It is going to be Team Germany. On blue team, it is going to be Team Hungary. Why don't you take us away here, Rook?
Yeah, no, I mean, already going for the rollouts. Dagger is going to be the first one there with, wow, really aggressive jump from Nubby here to try and get some space for their team. But Demo does go aggressive a little bit, trying to get a little bit more of that control. And Shocky also fighting for that mid, looking for the bomb from Bispaz, get some damage onto Menti, but not enough. Can Nubby finish it off? Yes, they can! A nice pick down. Trump is still alive, and Acero even manages to finish off Ghazi as they try and go for something there. So this is big advantage for the side of Hungary right now, as they do have that med and that Uber advantage. Now, there is going to be some aggression. Philip even goes right for it, but gets picked out of the sky, and those scouts you highlighted before really doing their work.
Yeah, really well played. We saw Bizbaz just kind of went in there as almost cannon fodder at the start there. Just sent in that first bomb, sent in the distraction from Nubby just to come in from the left-hand side unspotted. Got 2 lovely rockets onto Menti, giving his team a huge Uber advantage. Coming to the second, they're just going to get it for free, and they're going to be looking to push into last and take an early, faster round for Hungary here.
Yeah, they are actually going to have to head right back. Randani's going to go for that re-sup. As they're definitely getting ready for this. There is a turret being built, sorry, a sentry being built on the left-hand side here for the side of Germany, but Uber and the demo just goes full force in. Daga really wanted to pick that apart. Shocky has to run away over on the heavy as the shots come through, ringing out on the right-hand side. Acero does manage to get a good frag. Vespas down, they are lacking a soldier. Nubby can't get into that point, and Shocky, as a result, is managing to stay alive, is managing to mow down, but they just don't control the point enough. And that's a really nice first round for Hungary.
Yeah, really nice counter-aggression there from Team Hungary. We saw them kind of come in, take that Uber straight onto the sentry. Didn't look like they were going to get too much, as they couldn't contest the high ground due to the heavy being there. But they managed just to kind of come out a little bit, go back and get healthy, and then just come back in, take down that heavy. No one could get to point in time. So much cut time comes out, and they win that first round. But we're straight into a second mid already.
Yeah, Nubby in a good position, and with the backup of Daga, they already take down Danny. Hungary off to a roaring start, as well, without one of those soldiers, that means their med is that much safer. But Giga does get picked, and they are in a little bit of danger. Shocky getting very aggressive here, but unfortunately to no avail. And another mid win here coming out from Hungary, but this time they don't take down the med, importantly.
Yeah, keeping the medic alive here is huge, but they want to go in straight away. Nubby in, straight onto Philip. That's a nice early kill. That means there's going to be no spam coming into this choke. Can they really take much more space? There's 2 soldiers being able to spam down here. It's still plenty coming into this process second. However, Daga, ever aggressive, is coming forward, trying to make some space, make some spam. It's going to be an Uber trade coming out here, but it's looking good for Hungary.
Yeah, this is really great. They're going to get such an advantage in terms of positioning. Going to run all the way back. Voxy getting completely cut off. They do manage to save their med at the very least, so they're not losing absolutely everything. However, with that push on through, they are going to take second. They are going to get complete control of that, and already spreading their branches out, trying to make sure they have control of lobby. Danny behind gets a good pick onto Daga as well. That does mean this push is going to be a lot harder for them. And Germany looking for a chance to strike back right on out from lobby here, with Ghazi in position to potentially look for something, but Nubby does get taken down, traded 1-for-1 as Ghazi grabs that space with some backup from their scouts, and Danny even goes long to try and catch one of them, but again, it's no success. And while they have gotten the point, they do have to be careful for fear of reprisal right now.
Yeah, they're getting good spawners coming up here, and they're already taking the space. Bizbaz in good position, and IT is maybe looking to get something on the flank, but no. Hungary just don't see that space, see that opportunity for someone who's out of position. But that was really well played for them to kind of defend that last there on Germany. They knew there was always the threat of that dry push coming, but without the Uber, you have to be careful coming through those doors, because you can get absolutely collapsed on. That's exactly what they did on Germany. Just made sure they had players close. They had Danny flanking in from behind through the lobby area, and there was just so much crunch. Losing those 2 players did make Hungary lose that second point as well. And there is a spy sneaking around on Nubby here.
Nobody loves to go for that. That's cheeky and is in position. If they don't hear the decloak, this could actually be huge. Looking for an opportunity, moving on in. Nubby gets shotgunned away, however, does get caught by Shocky there. Really good awareness from the side of Germany. Not getting caught out by that, and they're looking for a chance to shine as already Danny goes right on in, however, completely peppered and taken out the sky. They do lose the demo for it, so not all positive, but they lose a couple of other players, and well, Gassi is trying to look for a chance to maybe rectify this, but the Ubers used on both sides. They are going to have to contest for it. I believe they are still down a player. One coming on in from the back now. Nubby over on that sniper is able to find Gassi, and that's a big frag to come on through, as now that med would have been a little bit safer if not for the fact that they lost a lot of control over mid.
They're still going so aggressive. Nubby's still in here at choke, trying to find something. They've got a scout back up, so they think they can carry it a little further, but this might be an overextension here. So it does look like it's going to be Chigga going down. Do trade one for Bizbaz in the back, but Trum, the all-important Uber, is off the field here as they're keeping Menti alive. Those last couple of players were coming in, looking to try to get the pick onto this medic. However, not able to. Does look like we're going to have a bit of a radio cast here. I guess the game may have crashed, unfortunately, for our producer. We'll do our best to tell you what's happening. Is Germany coming straight into second here for Free Rook?
Gassi gets a good frag onto Nubby. Does mean that there's no sniper available for the defending side right now of the Hungarians. There is a huge ad right now for Germany, 80%. And they are looking to try and leverage that well as they move on into the last. Already just checking for the turret, making sure they know where it is. It's on the left-hand side. Have to be wary of that if they're going to push on in. Even with Uber, it can be an important thing, but Philip just jumps right on in, however, loses the flash, and as a result, they do actually lose their demo man. The same is true for Voxy. Gazi is going to have to do big work from on high here, as that Uber is completely scuppered, and that did not go the way Germany wanted it to.
Philip just got absolutely deleted going towards that spawn. Must have maybe caught some stickies or something, and then just got a finishing rocket from Bizbaz there. But yeah, losing your demo man that early means he just can't lock anything out, and they just lost complete positioning. It was all on Gazi on the high ground to try to get something, but Trump positioned himself so well, playing deep into that spawn. He was in no danger at all. They're already on 80% Uber, looking to move into this mid on Hungary. There's going to be a little bit of contest from far back here, and Danny even going for a bit of a try on flank. Managed to trade up for a Ceres. That's not a bad pick in the end of all these, all of this.
Horrendous. Does mean that there's going to be a mismatch in terms of capability right now. And Nubby is looking for a chance to maybe pick someone off on the side. Will gain some space for their team. Has to be worried about Shocky and Voxy on that high ground right now. So they'll have to be a little bit careful. Gassi is pushed off, and does mean that the side of Hungary are able to muscle in a lot on this left-hand side. Some good sticks will keep them at bay for now, as Voxy is looking for a chance to maybe capitalize. Even has backup from the med. They're pushing in on their own left as they rotate around like clockwork. Trump at the back here has to be worried as you see Shocky is already in position. The Uber has to be popped, and that's a really nice force to find, and a very late return coming out here from the side of Germany. They're very happy to take that one all the way to the bank. They are going to for it, and Voxy's even getting aggressive with some backup. Philip is right in amongst it, taking a decent amount. I don't have to back off, but look at the health on the side of Hungary. They're oh so low. However, they only managed to lose 2, and well, Germany, yes, they get a lot of space, yes, they get a lot of kills, yes, they get the midpoint. They're not able to turn it into too much more and get that second.
Yeah, that's a huge pick there to get Menti at the very end. It was looking so good for the Germans. They got so much of a better Uber, even took Darga out with it as well. But no, the Hungarians come out, managed to find that crucial pick. Trum hitting a clutch surf into 2, and it's looking so good for the Hungarians. Now, there's no sort of defense here from the Germans. They're trying to stay in the tiny bit, make some space, make some spam, but it's not looking good. It's looking like they're just having to back out here, but maybe they want to recontest. They know there's even Ubers. It's a fight they want to take.
Yeah, Voxy really wants to get aggressive here with backup from Gassi. They might be able to find it. A lot of damage going on to these scouts. They do have to be worried. The soldiers are finally looking for a chance to pounce. They want to catch a Acero here. They do indeed. They get the force onto Trum. That's huge for Germany as Shocky takes down 2 as well in the aftermath. However, with Menti down, it's not as positive as they would have liked. Trum does fall in the end. They do get a good couple of kills. So honestly, it was looking a little bit peaky for them, but in the end, I actually think that's as good as they really could have asked for. Even Darga falls very late in the game. However, these 2 soldiers still fighting Nubby, who is desperately trying to cling on to this mid control, but does not have the high ground, has to be worried about it, and will eventually go down, get some good damage on Danny, but Danny will fall back into the waiting arms of Bizbaz, who frags them out. Now, be worried about Sewer. Keep an eye on this. Philip, very aware, love that awareness from them, and they will keep their team safe for now. Shocky even getting aggressive onto Bizbaz. Bispas, and they want to push through choke.
Yeah, they just want to keep taking these while the Ubers are not in play. Germany feeling like that DM maybe is a little bit better there. Just didn't quite go their way last time as they were on a slight Uber disadvantage and they just got Nubby to bomb straight in onto Menti, taking him down early into the fight. But having that soldier taking that solo just means you're caught in so deep you don't have scout speed to get you back out. And it made it very difficult for them as there is a sniper, yes, of a Nubby back up here. He's been liking this so far. And the thing about Sniper is it can really slow the game down, especially on a map like Process. If this soldier can't get much on his sack, it never goes too well. But they just pop through IT straight away, traded back from the side of Team Hungary. Can they find any picks? Nubby needs to make sure he is in a good position because Germany's going to want to come straight back in, and they do straight away, taking Osiri down. That's no pocket scout. And it's looking actually pretty good for Team Germany as they are taking space over point, just constantly backing up here with this Nubby sniper not hitting any shots, managing to take down Gassi with the SMG. Anything but no scouts on the field for Team Hungary. It's going to be very difficult for them to stay in.
Yeah, they have to be so careful about those bombs now. Does have to a lot of damage of the Bispas, but the sniper's working out for Nubby. Has to be careful now. Does manage to surf that one away. Love the fact that they're so aggressively going for these off passes. It seems to be working quite well for them, at least initially. It will be the mid control going over to the side of Germany, but Danny's got to make something work. They're really going to find some success here. Gazi wants to find that damage. Trum is low, finally taken out here as a trade-off for Danny. That's not too bad with a Sarah Giga trying to return the favor, but alas, not making it work. You can see already that Nubby was looking for an attempt there. Did actually take down Philip, so that's a nice pick to take off the board. Does mean that there's going to be a lot of lack of spam, and as a result, they're just pushing through, so they really want to make that happen.
My God,
Nubby! The nastiest snipe I've seen. What is this guy doing? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the Nubby raid boss we love to see. What a crazy headshot. That's so clutch to get onto Menti here, as we are going to have the players kind of spawning up on the side of Hungary. This is giving them a last hope. It was looking so doomed for this round, but no, they managed to clutch up. They're going to stay in this. It should be a last hold here. They are setting up already with this heavy here, but yeah, just getting your medic up, a slight Uber advantage for Trum. I would be very surprised if they try to push out though.
Yeah, honestly, I am so blown away by that frag. As you said, completely pivotal on how the game was going to go. Otherwise, that would have been uber advantage, pushing into last, second taken with ease. It would have meant that the speed as well that they were pushing through really could have amounted to a lot. But the one slip up from Menti and one hell of a frag does mean that's an entirely different scenario now. It has to move back on over to the soldier. It's going to be off classes for scouts, as you'd expect on last here for Hungary. But in comparison to last time, they've got a lot more of an advantage. They're going to be able to set up that sentry completely and in position right now. So interested to see what Germany are going to do to try and change things.
Yeah, they are on cookie cutter so far. So they are going to be probably trying to play with these soldiers, sending some spam in through different doors, trying to find that gun, find a position where they can kind of spam to get it. But I don't think it's going to be too easy. It's far back at spawn at the moment. I'm surprised they haven't tried to move it forward. But also having that Putis just makes things so much more difficult for any soldiers trying to get in, because you are just going to be absolutely mown down and pushed away by this heavy when you try to jump in here. So it's just going to be kind of playing that chess game for now for Team Germany, just trying to spot doors, see where they are. They've still got plenty of time on that round time of 3.5 minutes. So got a lot of time to try to do something. They are looking like they'd want to do something near one here, actually. So it might be taking an Uber trade or just the demo man aggressively through this door here, trying to get an early pick.
I like this pick, this push, when they're dealing with the sentry and the position it's in. They can find a lot of success here. Voxy waiting for some space, waiting for some time. Nubby still trying to lock down that sight line. Danny taken down yet again. The sniper from Nubby looking oh so terrifying. Voxy gets the frag onto Bispas, but instantly taken away. Nubby's on a tear. And it is still an advantage numbers-wise for the defending side. However, with all these off classes, there's no way in hell they're ever going to find a push.
Yeah, not for now. They're going to have to wait. Maybe come up on an off class here. They do have a little bit of time in this spawn. Oh, I didn't even see that. How did he even get in? Was he just sat in heaven the whole time unspotted?
No, he like jumped through, I think, rollout, in fact. However, that is going to be not even a force, just a straight up hit from
Dogger just gets Menti. Where are these coming from? Where are these miracle plays these players are coming out with? They're going so aggressive, having to find these heads-up plays. And what was looking so bad for Team Hungary is now not looking so bad. They might try to go for some risky plays here, as like they are getting these players in deep. They know all they have to do with this is this heavy, and they've got 3 players. They're getting players on point. No one can contest it right now. Philip getting aggressive, but both Danny and Boxy died to that sentry just in position to hit the edge of that point. But my God, was that close than it should have been.
Yeah, they had to be very, very careful there. Nice play by Dagger to keep that one alive. And Sentry still doing great work here. Advantage of about 30%, importantly, here for Trump. I want to say it's important. The problem for me is that they can never use this aggressively. With the composition they've got on last, great for holding last, obviously, but very much hamstrung in the way they can use it aggressively. So this Uber advantage really doesn't mean anything. It's going to be 20% advantage that turns into nothing.
No, it's about, 30 seconds down on the clock once you've got everything sorted out. Now it's down to 1.5 minutes, so 2 minutes gone since our last time check here. Makes it ever so much more difficult for Germany. Kind of at these points, they have one more push attempt and then a trade. Actually, they want to go for a trade straight away. Going to get onto the sentry gun. Trum not even forced yet. Is going to eventually have to use an aggressive Voxy who does go down to things. They get another pick. They could try to push on Team Hungary, but they are playing very, very defensive on the German side here. Just getting their soldiers into those spam positions, giving them no chances. A soldier in through one here, no sentry gun. He's getting onto Trump. He just needs one more rocket and he will go down. Gazi finding once more a lovely, lovely pick onto the medic here. So Team Germany, if they bide their time a little bit, get Gazi up, they actually have time for an Uber here.
Yeah, they have just about enough. Acero using those crits to great effect does mean that they can take down Philip. They are, however, going to back out, go on over to that scout. Maybe look for a little bit of aggression here. There's quite low health on some of these remaining members. They're not going to commit towards much. As you can hear, 30 seconds on the clock. I would keep my eye, if I were you, on Acero. I was expecting it to be Nubby on the sniper. It's not. But keep an eye on this sniper, because with so little time, people are going to be slapdash. People are going to be a little bit shaky and make mistakes here. 14 seconds. They've got to go for it now. They don't have enough time. Otherwise, using immediately, respecting the sniper, getting some good damage. Voxy sitting on the edge, corner capping here. Wants to try and go for it, but is forced to use the Uber. Drops on in, but that's some fantastic damage. Fantastic play from him, from Siga and Daga to deny away that point. And then flip things, I was going to say back on over, but they're just resetting this one.
Yeah, keeping Trum alive here. They're getting so much Uber. Advantage of this, are going to have 100% coming into mid, and basically no players to contest. You're getting mid for free, and you should get second off the Uber advantage. And Nubby hits the double on Shocky. Absolutely disgusting from the Hungarian here. And now look at this, they get mid for free. Menti, you're on 5%. He's nowhere near getting Uber here, and they've just giving up second for free, so we might even see a coast-to-coast hero.
Oh, this is so sad for Germany. They saw the time. They saw how much they were pushed up against it. And as a result, they piled onto point. But unfortunately, all they made was a massive, massive pile up. And frankly, an absolute train wreck. There is the soldier behind, but with the Uber pushing in, they're going to be able to get a lot of space. Menti's already gone, so that means there's no medic at all. However, they do need to capture the next one. Gazi does buy a little bit of time for their team, but alas, it does not work out.
What a dominant push from Team Hungary there. That was so good from them. They saw an opportunity to go for that medic. Menti was pretty alone, didn't really have any defenses, anyone to spot for him. That push was going to come out from the Hungarians, and he was taken down straight away on that push, and they just managed to play it slow from there. Crunched a couple of people, got a couple of early picks, and just took it home, and they're already on the 2-0 lead. 12 minutes though, still all to play for.
Good damage coming out to Dagger already. He does have to play a little bit passive for a second. Best pass drops right on in. One single rocket onto Menti, but to no avail just yet. You can see that Siga is looking for that one, wants to try and get onto Danny, but unfortunately not able to make it happen, as the rest of their team is just picked apart. A beautiful mid here, coming through from the side of Germany. Let's see if they can actually turn it into anything, because that's been their problem right now.
Yeah, I mean, getting a full wipe is probably the best momentum you can get in this game, right? They are going to have time to set up a sentry gun on the side of Team Hungary, but that's about it for their defenses. They need to watch out for this Nubby sniper, who's been ever powerful on this map already, but especially on CP process, I feel like these teams should have their last pushes pretty figured out. Looks like they want to take a page out of Hungary's book and take it through one here, but because the beam, you're just going to go for a dry push here, trying to find something? I'm not sure what they're thinking of just going for this sack.
It was interesting, for sure. Especially since they had, like, the Uber ad. I thought that maybe they look for something that is going to be Gazi absolutely destroyed. Interesting to see, and giving up an advantage of, like, a decent percentage of Uber ads, which is going to bring it to about maybe 30. And frankly, by the time they push, might not even be an Uber ad. So big slip up from Germany here, I feel.
Yeah, Trump hasn't been building well, and there is already a soldier up top here. The Uber gets used out from Germany straight away. They're going to go for the cap time. Good stickies from Darga do get to the early pick here, and now the Uber comes straight back out from Hungary. Philip also caught here, so what should have been a pretty free push from Team Germany turns out a bit tragic. I don't know if Menti maybe got a little bit disconnected, tapped out of his game, just wasn't there, but this is looking super good for Team Hungary as long as they can keep players around Trump here. They're a bit disconnected coming into the second, and Germany have spotted they're sending up a soldier in high. He's going to try to go for that pick onto Navi. He does get it here. The Scout Jigger is unaware there's a soldier there as well. This is coming crumbling down for Team Hungary. They've completely lost track of where they are.
That is crazy. I cannot believe that this has ended as such. Menti gets a quick frag for themselves as the rest of the team pushes on through. And after, frankly, a disastrous series of calls that almost completely squandered their Uber, like significant Uber advantage, Germany still just out DM and win it anyway, you know?
I mean, that's just TF2 sometimes, isn't it? And I think that's the experience showing on the Germans there to see that they could take that fight, and those players were super disconnected. Yeah, just going to be early bombs coming in here. See if they get... Oh, they get Philip. Good for Nubby.
Oh, does die. They do manage to at least get one advantage until Danny goes down there. That's a trade back and forth for Demo and Soldier. So really going to be the scouts who are dictating this, especially with the high ground. Gazi wants to look for a chance here, but unfortunately can't. Is kept at bay by Chica. And, well, they're going to deny Bizbas instead. So this is a brilliant opportunity for the side of Germany to yet again win a mid and look to push it as much as they can.
Yeah, they look like they want to continue to push the issue at least a little bit, just getting held up on these players now. Just going to chill out a little bit. They did see that Darga had made it back to that second, so they knew that they had to relax a little bit, couldn't push this choke for quite as free as they would have wanted to. Looks like they're positioning themselves towards IT, getting a lot of buffs, so want to maybe sit out to get a little bust through there as their first sack.
Again, another dive, another bomb, looking for an advantage. Shocky manages to take away one of those soldiers, jumps on in, and they take down Darga instantly. Beautiful kill, beautiful force, and yeah, they lost a couple of players, but they're still up in terms of numbers. You can see that Giga is going to have to back out here. Will almost get caught there by Danny until the two scouts do collapse, but there's still a decent position here for the side of Germany. They're just going to wait about 10 seconds for Danny to get back up and then look to maybe make that push. There is a 10% advantage on the defending side, but I don't think it's really going to matter much.
No, it shouldn't make any sort of incentive for them to push here on Team Hungary. They should just be able to chill for a little bit, but yeah, you don't really want to be defending on process last if you can help it, right? They want to be these players attacking going forward, and they've been put on the back foot, but instead Nubby comes in, gets the drop onto Menti, serves his way out, and it's going to survive. These two scouts are on an absolute horror chase trying to find him on mid here, but Nubby is so far back here, no scouts. This is a great opportunity if they want to push out, but Sniper and Engineer not the best classes to push out, so looks like they're going to be sitting on last for at least a little bit, have to basically allow that spawn of Menti to come back up here. Actually, they might just sit on last.
Yeah, I'm not super surprised by it. Again, when you've got so many off classes, that's just the way it's going to be. Love that Nubby is on the spy, but I mean, I don't know how much it's really going to work, especially when you're playing on defense and trying to use the spy. I think maybe that's taken the off-classing, which I've been so fond of, to a little bit too high of an extreme. Speaking of extremes, Gazi taken to the heights of the top, but still takes down Trump, and that is a big opportunity. Now a 70% ad, they just have to bide their time and not get picked by Nubby, who's looking for a bomb of their own. However, well, back on off. Can't see any opportunities, and Germany in a great spot yet again.
He's been an absolute superstar coming into these last. I think he's got 1 force and 2 drops onto Trump. He's Trump's worst enemy so far. They need to kind of figure out where he's getting in. It kind of looks like in these 1 or 2 doors and really try to lock them down, because yeah, losing a disadvantage like that is really bad. Cero will start things off for Team Hungary by getting a lovely headshot here, but it's not going to stop them from coming in here. They're going to use this super advantage, get straight onto the sentry gun, going to be trying to get some cap time, but Darga does not let those sticky, so not able to get too much. There is a soldier up top they need to deal with. No one's looking at him. This could be huge. But no, doesn't look like he's going to be able to get too much here. Unfortunately, Gazi taken down there, and it is a successful defense from Hungary.
I again want to highlight how good Hungary have been at using these off classes. It's been absolutely brilliant for them. They found so much of an advantage off of it, and honestly, it's the reason why they're a round up right now. So really well played by them. they are going to get an advantage again to move forward onto second. And Hungary keep on repelling the Germans in this. It just with some brilliant.
Wow.
I mean, at least for now.
Well, Trump, 2 scouts just kind of ran into Trump as he came out second, and he did lose his life. Menti also dies to Nubby doing a huge bomb in note, so it doesn't matter because these players just keep trading their medic back and forth, and now Trump is already up there, 3 players down for the side of the Germans here, and they're going to pick up even more. Nubby has been so good this game. It's getting so many crucial picks, and even though he's had a bit of a break, he is still the player he's always been. Gets a little over aggressive there on his victory parade. Will lose his life here, but this is looking so good, even just from an Uber advantage perspective for Team Hungary.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised to see these players going down like that. I mean, we had a very messy game, and it's been a real problem for these medics when they're trying to get aggressive. Shocky does manage to make it out of their life, and even take down Bizbaz. This is a nice opportunity for them. However, the Gazi and Danny are still playing really aggressive in this mid, and have to wait for Philip and the gang to actually come and join them. With Gazi down, that does mean the ability to bomb is going to be somewhat lessened. And with the Uber coming on in, the little flash, but Foxy decimates the team by taking away Darga, and that is a huge pick to be able to get, even though they have to, you know, leave the position.
Yeah, Menti a huge serve to make it out of there. It looked like surely Darga was going to get the damage in to manage to pick down that medic of Team Germany. Alas, no, as Germany now allowed back in here pretty much for free. Have that full wave advantage. Huge bomb coming in here from Nubby. Can't find the force onto Menti, taken down to 50 HP, but it is not enough for the experienced head of Menti, and the Germans will take mid for free here already on a 40% advantage, so might even be able to get into second as the positioning is just so far back from Team Hungary.
I like the fact that they're respecting the fact that they've seen a sniper from Nubby so often that kind of just going around the sewer push makes sense, right? You don't want to give an opportunity over to them. Foxy does fall, but you can see how aggressive Gazi is. Not be able to find anything. That second goes the way of Germany, but we have been here before, and Nubby has been behind them many a time as Danny goes down. And again, these frags coming through for some cheeky little plays. Philip doing something that's a bit beyond cheeky and could potentially err on the side of, well, throwing, but does go too aggressive, does lose their life, and with so little time on the clock, that could be important.
Yeah, only 3 minutes left on that clock, so it's not even going to be a round reset at this point. It is just going to be game over, and they are 2-1 up on the Hungarian side. I think not a result a lot of the viewers would have been expecting here, but I think just the sheer aggression has been so good from Hungary. Bomb does come in here, is onto Trump. Good first rocket from Gazi, however, taken down by the snipes of Osero there. Also taking down, wow, Danny late there, and Boxy go down, so that's 3 down for the German side. They tried to send in a counter sack here from Nubby, and actually he's going so aggressive. It's going to be followed by Osero. That last little snipe, not ringing out onto anyone, but it's going to make them fear and push back here. And now getting second, it's just going to make it so much harder for the Germans. They not only have to push onto this second and get some sort of an advantage, try to go for last, and they also have to try to get the Ubers out of the way as well. But it looks like they might be trying a cheeky something through IT. Menti going down. What? That's a drop by Bizbaz.
Where even were they? Where did they go down? I believe over towards IT. But again, a huge slip up coming here from Germany. Not able to coordinate the usage of the Uber. And as a result, they're going to lack a lot. Already lacking 3 players. Shocky's on 2. We'll not be surprised if they are not long for this world. In fact, they aren't. Danny takes a lot of damage. Almost gets a kill. Does take down Dargo with the backup of Philip here, but it's really not enough for them. They're losing the mid, and things are not looking good for them. As you said, you know, you were highlighting having to take 2 points would have been hard. Now they have to take 3. Some of those Ubers are out of the way. They're trying to get some shots. You get some damage onto Trum, but only take down Bizbaz.
Yeah, Bizbaz was in behind, trying to get onto Menti, just keep their advantage going here. Now it's going to be a messy fight as the Germans do make their way in, taking the high ground instantly with their soldiers, but they are absolutely okay. Did lose all this space, especially if Nubby is just going to take down Menti in the back. He's been an absolute thorn in their backside. They've had absolutely no answer for Nubby this entire game. He's just got a stupid amount of kills onto this German medic, and the only thing these Germans can do now is try to get a saving grace, try to get anything. They're trying to get onto Trump, but that's Gazi going down straight away. Danny wasn't able to come in and get a bomb in as he was being watched. They do get a force with Voxy on the flank there, but dare I say it, it might be too little too late.
Yeah, I just don't think there's enough time. I mean, I think it's a pretty easy statement to make. Already lacking players, lacking in time, lacking in points. And you can see Hungary are even just pushing forward. They are confident. They are comfortable. They are likely going to take process here with an impressive performance on the whole. As you said, not what people were expecting, but off the back of some brilliant off-classing and honestly, just really safe and solid play from Trum, at least in comparison to what we've seen from Menti and the usage of those Ubers, has really been a deal breaker.
Trump and Sarah have been playing pretty fantastically together in this game, to be fair, but it's not over quite yet. Still enough time to actually get these things, but Sarah and Darga just getting so many good shots together, taking absolutely everyone on this team down. It's just the lone wolf of Shocky will be the final soldier to fall here, and this is going to be cheese on map 1. Hungary taking it 2-1 on process. Wow, what a game.
Yeah, really impressive on the whole, and honestly what we love to see these competitive games, because I mean, with a couple of different scenarios, with maybe some of those picks going the other way, this is looking like a very different game, very, very plain and simple. If Menti doesn't get picked by some of the brilliant shot actually from Nubby over in Sewers, I think we're looking at a 2-2 scoreline. I think very easily.
Yeah, absolutely. There were so many close moments where they're like, oh, surely Germany just takes this in, gets a last push, but they just kind of crumbled. I think it was on even 3 last pushes that they had full Uber advantage. They managed to defend with those really good off classes. If it was a snipe from Nubby, snipe from Acero, just really good rotations around the spawns from Trum, that heavy going massive, sometimes Darga, just knocking that scout into the sentry's sightline. It's tiny plays like that they're just managing to make on Hungary to keep this competitive. But yeah, I mean, super close map, and the scouts played insanely well on the side of Hungary. We didn't get to see it on screen there, but 4 dominations for Acero, 5 for Chigga. Super good from them, coming against, 2 of the best scouts in Europe, and kind of a little less unproven on Acero and Chigga there, both, not even hitting Prem in the past, but obviously with a bit of mentorship from, the likes of Darga, the likes of Nubby, these players who have touched the top echelons of TF2 are doing absolute wonders for them, and it must be such a good victory for them.
Yeah, honestly, very impressed by them. Really tight and playing well with their med in particular, and actually very disciplined play from Hungary when they had an advantage, right? Instantly going back towards their med, understanding their win cons. So loving to see that. Looks like I was wrong in terms of maps, which makes me kind of sad. I wanted the Bagel Man. I was feeling it. I was a little bit hungry for it, but instead we got Gully. Is going to really change things up. I'll be interested to see how this dynamic changes. Obviously, if we were moving over to Koth, we get to see how teams can play Koth. But Gully is a map that is, while still 5 CP, very different from what we will have seen on Process, right?
Yeah, Process, we usually call it a super scout heavy map. It's that map where the scouts go absolutely crazy, and that's exactly what we saw there with those scouts just being so aggressive from the high grounds. However, this map seems to favor the soldiers and that demo men just a little bit more. Obviously, you can't count out the scouts. They're still the strongest class in competitive 6v6 here. But yeah, you have to definitely watch out for those soldiers. They can have huge impacts, especially on the mids, and coming into those seconds can just do so much here. And I think, yeah, this is, Nubby has shined on Process, but my God, Nubby could go absolutely crazy on this map. But never count out Danny as well. Has been very good in the past on this soldier as well. And we might even see some stellar performances from Philip as well. But we do have the logs up here if you want to talk about those.
Yeah, absolutely down to talk about it. And I mean, Nubby, as you highlighted, 32 frags to their name. And obviously some of those came from the off class, but just generally really solid play over on the soldier as well. Impressive DPM as well at 374, the highest in the game over both demos. It's always really impressive to see.
Yeah, I think Nubby was just having so many successful bombs. He was opening up a lot of fights and then managing to get back and get those arrows from Trum. I think that's what we were seeing a lot into those logs, but just doing crazy damage, finding crazy spots to come in where someone's not watching, and maybe the Germans just not been playing together as much as maybe they should be, not as disciplined, and just kind of allowing those flanks for Nubby to get in a little bit. And yeah, just looking a bit depressing through the rest of the board for Team Germany. No real stellar highlight. Shocky doing pretty well on that pocket scout, but that's maybe to be expected.
I mean with so many bombs, like you'd hope that your pocket scout is doing something there. Otherwise, I mean, that's where the problem would lie. And honestly, Shockey was doing a pretty solid performance. The problem was is that Nubby was just constantly in the air, constantly looking, coming from off angles as well. And I love the fact that they were so creative as well with it. And I think that's something that, I mean, this is my first time watching Nubby, but I'm already really impressed with how creative they are, not just in their picks, but in the way they play, in the positioning, and their jumps as a whole.
I mean, you missed the Nubby market garner age before the weapon was banned. He was an absolute demon with that weapon. I think the most viewed Twitch clip on TF2 is Nubby going for an absolutely ridiculous market garden from across like 2 points. So I'll definitely have to show you that if you haven't seen it before. But yeah, I mean, showing that even without, the 195 insta damage, he's still an absolute monster here. I think that's about it. I mean, Osero and Chigga also doing a great job. 25 kills, both to their names, on pretty low deaths as well here. Osero, same deaths as his medic, so really, really well played.
It shows you how joined at the hip they were, right? Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, they were super, super good combo just throughout. I think they played on a couple of teams before, a couple of Nations Cup teams, so do have a little bit of synergy, but it was super good to see them come in here and be so strong. But can they bring it into this next map? This is so different on Gully Wash. So much more choky. The soldiers can be so much more dominant. You've got to be careful of those demos as well. And it's maybe if you don't quite know the right places to stand sometimes, or you're not watching out for the right thing, or you get very slightly disconnected on a push, you can very easily lose out on here. And I worry that, the magic might have gone from that first map, and some of the experience that the Germans have, especially Voxy is a player that many look up to on this map. He can be super, super strong on that pocket row. I think might be actually playing flank here. I haven't been paying enough attention to their...
I believe they are playing flank, yes.
Yeah. Is known as a pocket scout, has been super good on that in the past. So we'll have to see how he goes onto that flank class coming in here. But I mean, I think Shockey's going to be super solid throughout this game as well.
Yeah, I think the only problem for me is like when it's a map that is generally more decided by soldiers, even though the Voxy is obviously a very veteran player with a lot of experience, how much is that going to matter in comparison to how much brilliant play actually we've seen come out from the Hungarian side?
Wow, you were talking about the soldiers being good, but we have a very inexperienced player of Bizbaz here. I think would definitely be the player that you would say has no experience at this level. This will be definitely the highest level they've ever played. I think their first Nations Cup they've had here. So they're maybe going to struggle a little bit more, but I think the playstyle we saw them going for, being a big distraction play a lot of the time and letting the rest of Team Hungary coming in, could work out super well for them. If they can take a lot of eyes off of Nubby, get those high bombs in, just kind of sacrifice himself through choke and allow the rest of Team Hungary to do absolute work, it could work absolute miracles here.
Good indeed.
Oh, here's the snipe from Nubby on screen again as well. This was so massive. Menti just turned the corner. He was like, the shutter's closed. He's not going to come back in, is he? Surely, but no, he goes for that hero shot. Massive play just coming in throughout this whole game from the side of Team Hungary. These are great to have, actually, these little highlights.
Yeah, no, I really am impressed. I mean, when you're the sniper in that position, it's not like you're making it out. So I love that they committed towards it. The only way out is through, and through some glory for sure. Yeah, I mean, you could see just how much we've seen from these soldiers in process. As you say, a map that is very scout centric. It's really good to see, and I'm loving the fact that we're probably going to see more of that here.
We absolutely should. There's going to be plenty of differences coming up here. Maybe we can theory craft about the off class here. We saw Hungary running the triple off class quite a lot, and I think that's something we could see coming onto this Gully Watch game as well, especially if they have to come to last. A lot of the time you will see a Pyro coming up as well. And I guess you got to see too much Gaddy, but fought as the best off-classing Pyro to ever touch the Sixes game mode. It's just absolutely crazy on that class for some reason, and we'll just kind of run it out of last onto second sometimes and just do all those sort of funny things. So that's something you've got to really watch out for that we haven't got to see in the past, is just that Pyro coming out, because it can cause absolute chaos in those close choke points coming into last.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing a little bit more of that. Honestly, I mean, I'm someone who is relatively new to the scene, and I mean, I kind of understand that ETF2L has a lot of bans towards some of those things, which can be seen as a little bit not part of the Core 6's gameplay, but I'd love to see some Dan it, you know? I'd love to see people over on that demo having a little bit more freedom to play aggressively, but obviously can still succeed without it. That's a very impressive performance. I mean, I think on this map, you know, it kind of works. When you've got all those soldiers looking for bombs, denying that away in those big open spaces, like on second, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's more for you're coming out of last. There's going to be a soldier trying to get a force on you early, but you can just kind of reflect it away. It doesn't really matter if a soldier kind of hits those rockets. If they get instantly reflected back to you for 1.5 times damage, you're always going to die. But enough of our absolute waffle here, as we are going into our second map of CP Gully Watch. It is Hungary taking the first map 2-1. The scores need to be reset here, but it's going to be Team Hungary on the blue, Team Germany on the red side. And why don't you take us away here, Rick, on our first mid?
Yeah, already looking to play right forward. You can see that Chiga getting up into the mid right away, but Danny jumps on Darga and trades 1-for-1. That's a perfectly fine trade by them. Both soldiers down, however, and that does mean that they are a little bit more open. They still managed to take down Nubby. Great usage of the demo to provide them with some space, and they send them packing. Brilliant opening from Germany, and we've seen them win mid a lot before. Let's see if they can turn it into anything more.
Yeah, they look like they're taking so much space already, charioting their medic straight into second here. It's going to be a bit of contest up through river here. The Hungarians do not want to give this up for free. High bombs coming out here as a lovely distraction. It's straight onto Menti. It's going to be a sync bomb just to be in the air for as long as possible, be as annoying as possible. Trump did drop down to low ground, so has to be a bit careful as Nubby does go down as their sacrifice to the Germans here, and it will just be the rest of Hungary backing their way into laughter. This gives them a bit of an opportunity to go for a quick sack on Germany if they are fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, Nubby back in spawn, not going to the off class, importantly. Arcero sent over on that Pyro, so going to be able to protect that sentry if they need to, or look for the deny on the Uber. However, not really in a great position to deny Uber, at least at the current moment, because of where the combo really is. Philip taking a lot of spam towards them with Danny, and we'll have to back off for now. And that aggression from the side of Germany not quite leading into anything just yet. They're not able to find any picks or anything that would give them a chance to go more than anything. You can see the scouts looking towards Walter, but I'd be surprised if that leads to anything with Nubby watching.
No, double scout Walter, though.
Double scouts come on in, as you say, but they are taken out, they are denied, and Danny is maybe going to come from below, look for that back cap, gets them a lot of time, and no one's going to touch!
He was completely unspotted on that cross, just waddled his way all the way back to point. They fought those two scouts. Surely that's all they're going to send in. Danny just waddles his way through water. They kind of walked off point. They assume nothing else is going to happen. Get re-held up. No one's close enough to point. It's already 3/4 cap, and they just get it on Team Germany. And that is a quick first round from them.
Yeah, I really didn't think it was going to end that way with those two scouts going under and finding no success. I really didn't think it was going to go that way. Deep bombs coming out from these soldiers this time, not short and sweet, but long and, well, fruitful as they take down Menti. They lose a couple of players in the side of that, but with Gazi going down, it does mean that they are going to be very much on the back foot. No soldiers, yes, but unfortunately, Philip just can't get there. And Acero and Chiga yet again succeed on these scouts. Really impressed with what they've been able to bring to the table, and they are a shining point for Hungary right now.
Wow. I think you've got to give some credit to Trum there. He had some absolute happy feet going on there. I don't know if this 4 health box is really going to be able to give much here. It's going to be difficult for him to really make a play here, but we do know that it's going all the way behind. Trying to wait for a health pack now. The mid cap's as fast as the second here, so if he can actually get this mid cap before they can really get any time on second, he could go for something here. Actually, looks like he wants to be a bit of an unknown for now, and he's just going to take a 1v1 on mid.
Let's have a little bit more health. Is no longer on 4. Will go down to 12, however, and has to be very worried. He's trying to buy space, trying to buy time, but unfortunately, as you said, that second was already taken. So he's going to play from behind, maybe reset or find some kind of success. But that means there's not going to be an off class here. The Uber coming on in. They're going to be lacking a lot. They are forced away right back into the spawns. They're on the point already. There is a back cap coming through, but it caps so quickly. Acero and Chiga are on it like a car bonnet and Hungary. I mean, they are desperate and frankly really decisive on all of these plays, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, they had super good coordination there. Actually, send that Uber in straight over towards the point. Also, flash a scout into water and managed to get a really good collapse from both front and back onto Philip there to take him down nice and early. So no stickies were in play to kind of defend there. And yeah, as you were saying, with one off class missing, it was so difficult for Team Germany to hold onto it. It was a close one in the end, but we are already onto the second mid. 2 picks from the German side going down, but they are trading straight back. Good bombs from both Gazi and Danny here. Trum looking like he will survive for now, but had to kind of catch up with his player here. They kind of tried to stay in, maybe go for another pick.
I mean, Menti was so low. I respect that commitment from Bizbaz to try and get it. Even a rocket that was, you know, vaguely in the same area would have finished them off in that position. But unfortunately not able to do it, and that does mean that it will be relatively even Ubers here, as it is a look towards this second. But look at that aggression, look at that push out. Loving that they're going for this. Now, what I'm not loving is, despite the fact that I've been praising him all the time long, is Nubby over on this spy. I'm interested to see if it's going to work out for them. I'd be surprised. I think they may have even seen it.
He just got bumped by the rocket. I think he's straight back to
That's
spawn.
so sad.
Was hoping to go for that spy play, but yeah, caught out straight away. Had to send himself straight back on the spawn, so he will be back on Soldier. And now it's time for the Germans to try to do something. They probably know that Nubby has gone back, so one less player to really contend with going into this big door area.
I think it's interesting to note that with Danny going down, they are lacking that. That Darga goes down. It's a nice frag, and yeah, you lose both 2 players, but without the demo, this position is a lot less tenable. Loving the bomb from Nubby, but doesn't find anything. Menti does just about survive. We'll be able to get that pack in just a second. Has to use the Uber here, as feels like they're under so much pressure. Now, will it actually be a hold, at least for now, for the side of Hungary? As despite the fact that Nubby went for that bomb and didn't find anything, Uber was used.
Yeah, really good positioning from the scout there. On the Uber, just to kind of perfectly get in. They were forced quite early in choke by Bizbaz behind. It looked like Trum might be safe, but managed to get in, get those shots, and also managed to get Menti to safety as well, crucially there. So kind of resetting the situation a little bit, and now they want to send it straight into Big Door, getting a little bit of an earlier aggression here in it through. With the scout, the demo man, just trying to clear a little bit of space. There's absolutely 0 players watching choke. They could have been really, really close to dying there. Bizbaz actually dies on choke. He was a player sent to defend. So now that choke even more open if they want to exploit on the German side.
There's a player coming down now. Back from Kazi in a not great situation. We'll have to rocket jump back. The rest of the team has already moved on in, gotten the force on Trum. And it will be a use from Menti here. We'll have a little bit longer to try and leverage, but Boxy is already behind, trying to catch, does back catch one of those soldiers and even makes it out of there. Unfortunately, Shocky a little bit too greedy and does get caught by the sticky trap there. But it will be second going the way of Germany. It's been a long haul of a game as it's 1-1. Both these teams looking for a chance to take that advantage and push it through.
Yeah, it's been very back and forth on this map, kind of between that second and mid and last a little bit here. Obviously 1-1 on the scores so far here, but Hungary now on the back foot, having to take it back to last once more here. And that's exactly what the Germans did, what I said they were going to do. They got that pick onto Bizbaz. They saw that there was no one able to watch choke. They ran it as fast through Banana as they possibly could to try to get their players in, and they managed to get through, get an advantageous Uber trade, and is Shocky on the Pyro here. Quite interestingly, gets himself into water, and they might try to do hot water here, where the Pyro comes in, tries to reflect as much off that point as possible, and make it really, really difficult for anyone to stay on.
Oh, they're going to see him, unfortunately, here. Shocky will get some damage, yes, but goes down to the stick there. That's a really nice push that has actually rewarded them so much. They lose Darga, however, and that could be really problematic. That sentry gun goes down. It's going to be hugely important here. They need to make sure that they don't lose it, and I love the fact that Acera is in position to try and deny as much as they can. If they can take it down, it will be big, and wow, Nubby going huge, taking down 2, including Menti there. That is now a huge Uber advantage as the drop comes through, and Nubby yet again being the deal breaker for Hungary.
Be a little bit careful here. There is a Boxy spy coming up. Looks like he might want to try to go for the hero plate here. Get onto this medic. Oh my god, how does that rocket get him? How do they know he's on spy? It's kind of disgusting to find him that early. Now, quite in a worrisome position here, as Shocky is also on the force of nature. There's some trolling going on here if I've ever seen it.
You know, just trying to make sure they're not on the point. Go for that back cap. I'm loving this strat. Something like that. But Darker down, and they don't actually lose anything back for it. This could be huge. Voxy moving into water, looking for the chance to get that back cap. Everybody else is focused on something else, but they come on up. Look at that there. It's not even Voxy. It's just Shocky moving on in. And no one was paying any attention as they came round the back right-hand side. Beautifully done. And Germany steal it away from Hungary. I felt like that defense was going so well, but alas.
Alas, no. It's just the silly things that sometimes work out on this map. It makes no sense. I was like, oh, the spy's gonna go for the back cut. That's slightly interesting. And no, the scout just walks in, gets on the point, no one can contest. And I guess it wasn't a troll with a force of nature in the end. I guess it worked out. But Menti goes down super early to Nubby here, so that's a nice early pick. They just need to keep Trump alive here, but they will not be able to. Gazi and Danny collapsing together to kill that Hungarian medic. It will be the mid one for Hungary, but no Uber advantage, so they will not be able to take this straight on to last.
Yeah, loving that there from the side of Hungary, able to get early picks. Sure, they lose Trump. It's not exactly perfect. It's not everything they wanted, but it is a decent bit of success. And they really want to strike this back. They do not want to be down against Germany here for very long if they can help it. As we've seen them, attack with blitzing pace over here on Gullywash. Not something you often hear. Danny looking for a chance. Takes control of the high ground here, but we'll have to fall off with this. Pass down. A lot of the reach of the Hungarian side is denied away. A good rocket goes in, but not enough to kill anyone. They're just going to heal back up and give up that second, at least for now, I believe, as they're not looking for any chances to get picks. Other than, funnily enough, Nubby on the spy, who may even change now that they know he's down.
Yeah, I think it's just going to look to basically die here and maybe take one player in. But look, actually, Dogger on the crit here gets an early pick, but both Nubby and Dogger going down. This could be really, really tragic here for the rest of the team on Team Hungary, as it is just going to be them leaving mid basically completely. Can't even send one more player into sack here, as now this is really, really tragic, and they're going to have 100% Uber. They're going to be stuck on the crit screen at least for a little bit on the side of the Hungarians. They really need to make a miracle happen, and that is the risky thing with the crits, that if you don't get that early pick, you are just not going to get any value here. Now they're pushed straight back from mid onto their last, so they should be getting crits up and maybe want to try to go for something aggressive. Be a little proactive with it, but it's going to just be so difficult.
Yeah, especially pushing out of last here to try and get something aggressive. The Uber is here as well to deny that away. Even if they did use, they will have a little bit of an advantage in terms of timing, but they're losing a lot here. But look at Nubby going huge at 3k with the Kritzkrieg as well back up. That was brilliantly done. And exactly what they needed, frankly. I was really worried that things weren't going to work out, but because they used so late into the Uber, they were able to capitalize on a period of time where that Uber was not available.
I refuse to believe that Ring Around the Roses actually just worked. That they decided to go, and Nubby's like, oh, I'm just going to go take a crit, catch them off guard. And they come in through main, they take the Hungarians off guard. The only reason he managed to stay into things was that pirate. They want to keep contesting here on Team Germany. They're flooding in from all sides. Trump taken down early. Menti in no danger at all. And it looks like even Dogger might be taken down there as a last-ditch effort from Shocky here. It's going to make it near impossible for them to get into mid here, but it is going to be the scouts trying to flood on through. They get an early pick onto Philip here. It's just going to be a lone Voxy left alive.
I cannot believe Voxy found that. I thought with Nubby landing that initial rocket, things were not going to be going their way at all. Voxy will, however, lose out to Chiga, and I don't think, that Gazi can find anything off the back of that. We'll be kind of returning to a more normal state now. Let's sans Voxy. I think it's Ubers on both sides. I need to just do a quick check.
No Ubers on either side right now. These
I'm talking about default Ubers is more what I'm getting at, just making sure there was no crit screen. But there will be a big scuffle here over mid, losing a lot of people. Philip importantly staying alive. I thought that stick was maybe going to find them. However, aggression from Nubby almost lands it. We will have to back off yet again. So much aggression from the Hungarian side to get them a lot of space, and that's brilliant! Menti falls as Nubby again looks for those frags and does wonders with the original.
He's been such a hero from this Hungarian side, time and time again. got that first early rocket onto Menti, knew he was low, bided his time, got reloaded, got a little bit of help, and just came in for that bomb onto Menti. There was just no one really around to support him, and Navi just comes in and finds the perfect bomb here, and now the rest of the Hungarian squad are coming through. Being careful of these high bombs that are coming out here onto Adaga, but going to easily be taken out. It's going to be Danny coming in for a little fake bomb. Decide, absolutely not, I'm not going for that. And now the Hungarian's going to come up with that 100% Uber advantage and a chance to even things this up to 2-2 here if they can make this push work. But there's a Pyro, there's a Sentry. This is never easy.
Yeah. Adaga making sure there are no traps, making sure everyone's safe for their team. We'll be looking for a chance. There's the Uber, goes straight onto the Sentry, and we'll be able to kill it. Forces them back on out. Voxy just barely survives. However, they've gotten so much space in everywhere else. Those pipes are going downrange. Shocky just about kept alive by their Pyro assistant. This won't be too bad for them. They've still got a couple of players left alive, but they are lacking in terms of players, at least 4 now. Low health on the side of Hungary, and they've had to back out.
Yeah, Bizbaz and Chigga just went down during that fight super early, so there was no real aggression on that left-hand side, where those spawners are always going to come out, so they just struggled to make their way back in there, and then just had the heavy come out. They knew absolutely nowhere we're going to get anything done here on the Hungarian side. It is Uber advantage for the Germans here. No off classes. Could look like they might want to push here. Nope, they're straight back into spawn. They were maybe looking for a pick to get things started, but saw that was going to happen and quickly back on these off classes. Still plenty of time left for them to try to get something happening here on the Hungarian side, as the Uber is coming to full 100%, and they should be positioning themselves up for sacks or destroying the sentry gun or going for a water play, which has been very, very popular as of recent.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like all of these teams have been loving going for the water play, loving going for these back caps. I mean, Gully as a map certainly known for it, but they've been going for it with a plum so far. And a lot of players looking towards water right now. You can already see Nubby jumping on in there with scout backup. They'll be aware of that. They must be aware of that, right? You can see that Danny's trying to deny it, but the scout on top, they're finally going to be able to do it. Nubby gets a lot of damage on Gazi, but there were too many players watching. Whoever did that give an opportunity? No. Hungary do not pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah, it's just kind of insane, even when you know that they're going for that play, right? You've seen those 2 players going in. That scout is like 4/5 of the cap time. That's just how quick this point caps out on Gully Wash, but managed to send in the reinforcements and just block that point for more than long enough. And the point will slowly be decaying here, so it's going to kind of go back down to about half here. They stay on cookie cutter here, so no funny off classes coming out. Looks like they might send players in once again here. It's always a little more difficult that second time because they're ready for you to go for that play. They know what you're doing. It's going to be Chigga once again going for it. There's a lot of stickies. There's a soldier waiting, so it's going to make things ever so more difficult here. Chigga will go down though. Straight away, Nubby comes in, but the soldiers, they're waiting for him. They know exactly what's going on.
They do indeed. They are clued up to this one. Right, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you, right? Like, oh no, other way around. But regardless, the second, if you get caught with it again, you feel like an absolute idiot, and you really don't want to let that happen. Sarah taken down. Flames. There's not really an opportunity for them to push on out. They've got too many off classes, I feel, trying to get a little bit more of an advantage, but this is sometimes the problem. However, with a round advantage, I don't think Germany really have to worry about it. They're happy to go for the reset, 2 minutes on the clock. They don't have to get aggressive. They don't have to do anything here. Nubby, forced away, not able to look for any shenanigans at this time. As Danny is looking to contest a little bit, but without committing too much. Neither of these players want to go down. It'd be too pivotal, I feel, because if there's a slip up on the side of Germany, they're going to expose one of these kind of openings, whether it's water, whether it's coming from the right hand side. There's a lot of things that could be available to the side of Hungary if they get that initial pick.
Yeah, they want to go for things again here, but they have Osera on Sniper, which makes it a little more difficult to stand on these high grounds here. Chigga instantly taken down by the stickies there. Don't even give time for their Sniper to get something here. It's just Osera peeking through that main, going to be instantly met by Philip here, having to back out. Oh, and there's even a sack from Gazi. Gets the force here. That's huge from them. Just absolutely slowing down this time, and now there's barely enough time for Trump to get this Uber. Only a minute remaining on this round timer for the side of Team Hungary to get something going, and they've been struggling so much here, just trying this water play over and over again, but with just less and less success each time here. They know exactly how to counter it on Team Germany. They just need to go for something different here. Osero is still going to be on this sniper, so this could be what they do in kind of this downtime while they're waiting for the Uber to come up. Is trying to find that pick for Osero, see what he can do.
Chiga, they go for the back cap. No one's going to be there in time. Most likely that is picked out of the air. And a slip up from Germany. A moment in attentiveness completely cost them that. And it's even Stevens.
How is Noah watching the river
I
crossing?
don't know. You'd think they'd be clued into it at this point.
They're like, surely you won't go for it a fourth time. It's only been going once. You won't go for the same play, right? But no, it seems to work. 4 times the charm. Surely that's a saying. And now it's 2-2 apiece here with 10 minutes remaining. We'll see who can take this mid.
This would be really great. Even if Hungary don't manage to turn this into anything more, it would be big. But nice frag onto Menti there means that Hungary again have the advantage. Voxy dueling well, takes down Nubby, is continuing to contest this, and despite the fact that they were the ones down the med, they're the ones who take control of mid. And look how aggressive Shocky is getting on taking down the opposing med. What a honestly astounding performance from Gazi and Shocky to be able to take that. Brilliantly done by the Germans.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of do this on these German scouts. They know the times, they know the slight misplays. They were 3 down on the Hungarian side and decided to stay in choke there, and they just didn't really have the defenses set up by Darga to deal with that. Scout coming in, got some nice shots onto Osero, took him down, and that's basically, the only protection that your medic can really get in there. Soldier comes in, and then Shocky just cleans things up here, giving the Germans a huge advantage coming onto last hit. Gonna be 40% or so Uber advantage, plenty to play with here, and they do have the gun fully set up, but will it instantly be spammed down? They have no pyro as they're trying to build here.
Nobby physically putting his body on the line to save that sentry gun, and a very good call here as Osero swaps on over to that pyro. Now going to use the technology rather than the physicality to deny that one there. Uber going to go on in here. Scout demo Uber already taking down that position. Needs to clear the sticks. Wants to deal with Darga. Does indeed. Look who's on it. Wants to go for it. As Uber is popped. Osero gets aggressive and takes them out. There is a player still left in Uber and Danny, but they're not going to look for an opportunity. However, look who is Voxy coming up from behind. They are watching for it, however, and Voxy will be going down in very short order as Hungary do not want to slip up here. They want to take this one, even if it's a draw. Nice kill coming in from Nubby on a Philip there. It does mean that they are going to have no demo, so should be able to get a decent push out. Even if they get even, right, this means they've won this matchup. That's a win and a draw. So Germany really have to play for this one.
Yeah, they are going to be, gaining max points, but it's still all to play for. Lovely bombs coming in straight away onto Menti. It's bad, but however, they are taking down so many players on the other side. It's only Shiga and Trump left alive on this Hungarian squad. 8 seconds till these spawners. Can they hold on here? It's going to be so difficult. They don't have the point, and they're straight onto the point with Voxy getting those kills. Germany bring it up to 3-2, and that's all it takes sometimes. It doesn't matter if you get that early pick onto the medic. If you just kill the rest of their team, you can just get onto point for free, and that is exactly what they did on the German side. Bringing it back, and it's just that constant aggression from them that is working so well, and it's just sometimes catching them off guard on the Hungarian side, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Gazi managing to find some brilliant picks that really have allowed their team to have this aggression, and has really opened up Shocky to go absolutely crazy with it. Love me. Loving it from them right now as some good damage goes on in. Look where Gazi is. Almost gets the kill onto Trump, but importantly doesn't. It'll be Danny who finishes that one up, who is still behind. Will not quite get the kill onto Osero, and they lose a lot of players, but if Menti can make it out of this alive, this isn't the worst scenario at the very least. They lose too many to try and contest anything proper, and Shocky is now very much on the flank. But I think that Germany could turn this into an advantage of some kind with about 60% Uber rad, 60 to 70 even.
This was so nearly devious. I was like, surely they're going to run it out from spawn and he's going to get something, but alas, no. They're just building in spawn, and now Shocky's sent back to the Shadow Realm to run all the way back.
On one. Oh, okay. And Nubby was on 1 health for the longest time there. Got a dart and will be good to try and push out through that one. However, Voxy will move through. We'll buy them a little bit of space. They're going to take back second here. Keep an eye on who's on the backside. Look who it is. It's Shocky. Unfortunately, can't win versus the, overhealed and beamed scout of Acero, but still very successful. Pushes them back into good positions. Nubby wants to try and find something here. If they can, that would be good. As you can see, Gazi already looking for that dive. However, Acero is taken down without that flank scout. That does mean that they're a lot more open. I respect the fact that Trum runs away from that one and they give up mid over to Germany.
Yeah, they made it really hard there. Nubby got 4 rockets up onto Menti, but he managed to give him the moves and managed to survive there, giving Germany a huge pick advantage here. And it just allows a soldier to get through. They're going to take a trade here, and that's just really good for Germany on the post if they do want to play it like that here. They need to be careful not to lose anyone. Danny does go down during all of this, so that may be that advantage they had completely gone here on the side of the Germans, but they're around up. 6 minutes remaining. They can kind of just sit pretty on this mid. They don't have to really do too much of the pushing here. It's kind of on the side of the Hungarians, and there's not many options here. There's a big door, there's a choke, and that's about it.
Yeah, Sniper from Nubby wants to look for a chance. They take out Shocky with the demo. Gazi's really up close and personal, and Chiga is gone from this world, which means Nubby has a lot less space to work with. But Nubby's not one who is easily deterred, let's be real. Really wants to get that frag over on the Sniper. However, some weakness could give an opportunity over to Germany. They don't step for it yet. They don't go for it just now. Bisbas is going to continue to try and control that with Dagger going down. That does mean there's no demo, and that would be a great chance to move forward. But Nubby goes nutty and takes down 2. A beautiful play from the Sniper. And honestly, I cannot believe this guy keeps going for that and keeps getting it too.
It's just the gift that keeps on giving sometimes, isn't it? Gets the air headshot, gets the pick onto Menti, and Trum manages to stay alive here. He just does not deserve it sometimes. He's going to even serve out Free River here. They're taking down so many players, but it's a messy, scrappy fight. Bizbaz finding that final rocket onto Danny should slow things down for now. Trum did go down during all of this, so lose their uber advantage on Team Hungary, but they've just got so much space here. And Nubby, yeah, he's looking for that shot.
No? Okay, no, it's not. Nubby's dead. Okay, I was, I believed for a second there. After the magic that I've already seen today, what's a little bit more? Not a lot of time to work with. Likely going to get a, well, if we do get a reset, it'll basically be all in the books. But yeah, really nicely done from the side of Germany to capitalize on the fact that they took down that Sniper and they are down a player to just move forward, take down Bisfast, and then we'll just go from there. They're going to move on into lobby as well. Shocking Gazi already getting aggressive. However, Nubby bails them out, manages to trade 1 for 2. That's a deal I'd take if I were the side of Hungary.
I feel like it's just these German scouts versus Nubby during this game. They're just constantly saving each other. I feel like they're doing so many aggressive plays, getting so many picks. They're finding Dagger a lot very early here. And then Nubby comes in, gets huge picks, wins the demo 1v1 against Philip though, so sometimes that aggression works, and they want to keep pushing the issue here. There's no uber advantage here, but they know they're not going to expect this on the side of Team Germany. Nubby going down in that river is going to make things difficult as the rest of the German squad does roll up. They are taking it straight through river. Uber trade from both teams coming out here. Now it's getting super scrappy. Bizbad taken down as an early first pick. They trade it straight back for Gazi, so it's a soldier for soldier, and now it's looking good. If they cannot get too many players on the point, this is difficult. Now this soldier is going to be able to do so much splash. They take a 4th round. It's just that flanker getting so much cat time. There's too many things for them to worry about on the Hungarian side, and that player in water was just that one thing they hadn't really calculated for.
No, they really weren't looking for it, and it is kind of sad to see, honestly. You know that they were contesting well, at least initially, but they pushed out that little bit too much. And I think Joni made such a good call to go for the B line right for it, contesting, using the Uber, forcing it out on both sides. Would have been great. She got off the board. Philip getting a nice pick does mean that with a lacking number of scouts, Shocky can certainly go to town. Menti, however, is the first one to fall in terms of medics, and that is a huge pick to be able to find. Again, Germany don't really care so much. They're happy to fight without, at least for now. They will have however, have lacking health, and will have to be worried about the push that is likely going to come forward. Shocky tries to get aggressive, but is denied away, as he said. Goes in, takes down Trum, and that is both medics getting dropped in the first couple of minutes of this one here. Nubby's getting aggressive, and will be able to claim a little bit more space for their team. Hungary, they want it. They need it if they want to try and bring this back to at least even Stevens. They're going to have to find, well, some pretty quick pace.
Yeah, this is kind of the last chance for Loon for them. They were feeling so happy keeping Trum alive for so long. Danny taking down Naga is just going to be a thorn in their side here. As the rest of the Germans, they're getting straight back in here. They give up the cap for now, but they should be able to quickly cap this back, and they're going to have an uber advantage if they want to push into mid.
Yeah! Looks for it, but doesn't get the kill! I was too excited, you know, I prematurely yared it, but Nubby was in such a great position. Unfortunately, couldn't make it happen. Already a sentry? Where was that? It was on last. Okay, they were already building a sentry on last, and someone died to it. They instantly swapped up over to that scout, and with Darge gone yet again, that means it's the Germans' time to shine. As soon as that demo is out of commission, Danny's map is so much more free. He goes for it. As you said, the crits. Danny taken off the board, and the rest are likely soon to follow if the aggression is there. Bispas and Chiga looking to get aggressive, but the Uber comes through, and Philip and Shocky will definitely be able to get aggressive there. Trum will likely make it out in this position, has the backup, has the stickies from the side of Darga, so we'll be safe for now, but Shocky slips through, and like a smooth criminal, strikes down the demo and the medic. And, I mean, look, we were looking at map 1, I was saying it was all Nubby, but this game, I really feel like it's been Shocky showing us what they can do on this scout.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter, you know, what we traditionally think the map favors. Sometimes the crazy players just go absolutely crazy here, and obviously we're in a bit of garbage time here, so we're going to see some haha funnies coming out here. But in the end, it is a 5-2 victory for Germany. They were looking much more confident on that map, seemed to kind of know what they were doing a bit more. A couple of interesting rounds, a couple of interesting backcaps from both sides. But yeah, the Germans definitely looked stronger. They knew, I think, where they could push it and where they could kind of exploit things. They were getting a lot of early picks onto Bizbaz and Darga during that game, and I think that was kind of their saving grace.
Yeah, really impressive to be able to find, and the fact that they were able to take down, I think, yeah, as you say, Darga. I mean, look, this is obviously a great soldier map, and that is something I would like to keep in mind, and has been very important in this one. But I think this is a map where if your demo is solid, it becomes a much slower paced map, and when Darga is falling down like that a lot, off the back of players like Shocky and Gazi having a really impressive performance, it makes it much harder to slow things down. And I think it was a big problem for the Hungarian side.
I mean, maybe, you know, we saw them kind of getting a lot of heroic moments that were maybe just a little less on the Hungarian side. They were pushed to the back foot quite a lot and just struggling to really find those super crucial picks. We do have the logs up on screen now. We can see Boxy. Yeah, he went crazy. 31-11. He was peeling himself. That map going kind of insane, but yeah. Big respect to Darga. We were saying he was going down a bit, but my God, was he dishing out the damage?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That aggression was well worth it, but maybe his team just a little less able this map to follow up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows, right, when the two scouts are above, it means that demo was not able to have the same kind of success, because the scouts have to be successful to keep the demo safe, right? And then that's when Darga can really leverage that power, and I think that's something we also saw in the first map, where Darga was a lot safer off the back of Chiga and Acero, to the point where, I mean, we were looking at the deaths, right, and Chiga had, was it Acero, I think, actually, had died like 7 times because they were constantly anti-airing for their team. So, you know, it's a map where it's harder to have that impact, and I think potentially made a big difference, but, I mean, as you said, Voxy just made such an impressive performance of that map, and really freed up their team to have the success that they needed.
Yeah, Osuri still having a super solid game.
Oh, for sure.
During that as well. But yeah, I think Shocky was just kind of out of this world. Was super well supported by the rest of his team. Yeah, we can see Nubby. He may have had 26 frags, second most in the server, but he also had the most deaths. So maybe having to suicide in a little more than we'd maybe like to see him have. Obviously followed closely on by Gazi, so the Romas doing Roma stuff in the end of things. But yeah, I think Nubby just dying a bit more, getting a couple of less kills, just kind of made a big difference there. But a huge playmaker during all of that. We saw him get multiple drops, multiple forces, so it was a close one. I think that 5-2 scoreline doesn't quite show how close, especially that first 20 minutes of that game was, where it was still just 2-2. It was crazy close.
Impressive performance on the whole, and as you can see, great stats coming out from the Meds. But yeah, I mean, obviously that round, that map even went to Germany, and you can see some highlights here. But that is overall 1-1 is a best of two. So that is actually a draw coming out from Germany and Hungary, and again, not a result you expected to see, right, coming into this.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I think there's a lot of players on this Hungarian side that have been gone for a while as well. So seeing them come out with such a good performance is really promising. We'll have to see what they can kind of bring up coming through the rest of the season. But I think they should be happy with a draw, especially with a team of the caliber of the Germans. Just Nubby's headshots sometimes they're crazy. It's a little sing jump that was just not meant to be, unfortunately. But how close was that? Crazy, crazy stuff here. But yeah, but this isn't the end of things. I think we're going into the playoffs after this. I think this is maybe end of regular season now.
I'm not quite so sure about the format, but I know playoffs is coming up relatively soon, and I'm really excited. Right, when we've got matchups like this and other similarly level teams, I think it's going to make for a really interesting one. And I think Nations Cup this year is looking very exciting on the whole.
One more round. I forgot this was week 3, not week 4. So it's a round robin of the groups of 4. So one more week of content. But yeah, then you get into those playoffs and you get those teams that are super close. So it'll be really interesting to see Germany go against those strong teams. Obviously, there's always a lot of talk about, the Englands, the Polands. So we'll see if Team Germany and even maybe Team Hungary can really bring it to those closer teams come those playoffs.
Definitely looking forward to that one. But that is all we have time for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone at home, for listening in. I've been Rick, and I've been joined by Stephen. And on production has been Cole, who's been absolutely wonderful bringing you this for Essentials.tf. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and good night.